My name is Michelle Salcedo. A quote found in searchquotes.com by Peter C. Goldberg Jr. says, "Welfare is hated by those who administer it, mistrusted by those who pay for it, and held in contempt for those who receive it." This topic is important because us taxpayers are the ones that are giving the money that is being used by the welfare. Today, we will be talking about how California should do random drug tests on people who are receiving the welfare. First, we'll talk about the issue about how some welfare receivers misuse the money that is given to them. Then, we'll talk about who is to blame for this problem. And finally, we'll talk about a possible solution to end this problem.
My name is Andrea, and the issue is that the welfare users are using the money that the government provides to them for drugs instead of using it for what the money is intended to, which is food, rent, and essentials for their families and themselves. California is not trying to pass a law that allows them to do random drug testing to those who ask for welfare. The article states consider drug testing welfare recipients published in February 20, 2012 quotes, "If you have enough money to be able to buy drugs, then you don't need to public the system." To me, this is very true, and this law should be passed. If people who enroll for welfare don't have anything to hide, then why fight it? Colorado State Representative Sonnenberg states in the same article that those who pass would be reimbursed for the test, which costs between $8 and $12, while those who fail would have to get cleaned and reapply for welfare. So what are these people scared of? If they're clean, then they don't have to worry about going through this again. It is a win-win for the government and for everyone else, because the money that is being given to drug users now as welfare can be used for something else. And if they catch them misusing the welfare money, then that would mean that the money that the government is giving away now as welfare could be used for something else rather than being given to people who are misusing it and using it for drugs and things that are unnecessary.
Hi, my name is Anita. Now that we know what the problem is, let's move on to who's responsible for California wanting to pass the law. We believe that irresponsible people and lack of government regulations are to blame. These programs serve as social safety nets for people in need of assistance, but they are designed to be temporary. Now people are staying on welfare for a long time, and it doesn't give them like initiative to go find a job or better themselves because they have a lot of help from taxpayers. In the article, welfare programs should promote self-efficiency. Posted on December 15, 2011, it says, "Taxpayers provide support in those in need. Recipients are to engage in responsible and conductive behavior when receiving aid." Welfare has become more accepted by society. These programs are necessary as social safety nets. More people than ever are now dependent on government support in order to survive. This means that welfare and social contract. The welfare is a social contract between the people in need and those who are providing for them. In the article, "Drug Testing for Welfare Recipients," posted on January 17, 2014, it says, "Taxpayers are required to give part of their earnings to people who are in need. It would be reasonable to accept that the people receiving welfare assistance should be held to certain standards. Drug tests would ensure that this level of responsible behavior is upheld in those receiving assistance." So, if you're receiving money from taxpayers, we expect you to use the money wisely and responsibly, buying things that you actually need and not spending our money in other things like such as drugs or whatever.
I'm Jenniffer, Rivas. Transition. Now we have discussed that welfare is a fair social contract between taxpayers and welfare recipients. We can now move on to the possible solutions of this ongoing problem. California should require all people on welfare to submit random drug tests before getting the help from the government. and also have welfare workers pay visits to see the children are living in a safe environment. And finally, have programs to help with the addiction problem. This will allow people who really need help to get away from drugs, and they will have the ability to take care of the children. According to the paper published on the website ncsacw.sasha.gov in 2010, which I encountered on May 19, 2014, it says that the best way to evaluate the probability that someone is not using drugs is by using a combination of random drug tests, self-reports, and observations of behavioral indicators by substance abuse treatment providers of professional and child welfare workers. Like this, the welfare offices can determine if the household is using the money for the given food and not for drugs. In the same paper written by Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration in 2010, it shows observations include positive changes in hygiene and grooming, improved functioning in daily life, improved work behavior, and avoidance of people, places, and things associated with drug use, and improved consciency in complying with child welfare and substance abuse treatment and plan requirements. I believe this is a good solution to the problem, because if people see that they're checking on them all the time, they will stop using the drug or try having a better future for the children. If they're using the welfare money to buy drugs, the children are not living in a safe environment, and that will cause them to take them away from them. And I believe not every parent wants that.
We will continue to believe that random drug testing for California residents who are receiving welfare should be enforced. First, we talked about the issue on why drug testing should be done on welfare receivers. Then, we talked about who is to blame for the misusage of the welfare. And lastly, we proposed a possible solution that can end this problem. Helen Keller once said, "Until the great mass of the people shall be filled with the sense of responsibility for each other's welfare, social justice can never be attained."